Listening to FBI!
I'm joined in the studio by a couple of lasses that have been to the country many, many times. They say that it's becoming their new favourite place to tour, so we're pretty happy with that. Canadian sisters Tegan and Sara, welcome once again to the FBI studios.
Thank you for having us. Very glad to be back.
Now, are you a little tired? I know you played in Brisbane last night with Iron On and Sparkadia, who are from Sydney, but did you fly in today?
We did fly in today, but we're kind of like robots, and we just don't get tired. We had the flu at the beginning of the week. I was on the plane deciding between barfing and pooing, and I was just like sick, stomach cramps, taking my Lanta, and I'm just feeling awesome. Yeah, I feel euphoria.
So you were stuck between vomiting and pooing.
Yeah.
Was there a decision in the end?
To be completely honest with you, we've been traveling for like 7 years, and I've had lots of things like the flu, whooping cough, sinus infections. I always worried about getting the flu on a plane, and I've never had that happen. This was the first time, and as I was walking down the aisle to the bathroom, I was like, what is going to happen? How will I handle the situation? And it's amazing your body just chooses one or the other each time, and you do one first, and then
you wouldn't really want to be doing them at the same time.
No, you wouldn't. So I don't know, but there's something funny about being musicians. You just have this like adrenaline. There's something so wonderful about getting up on stage that you feel crappy all day, and then you get up on stage and you kind of get through it. So I don't know. We're feeling good.
Yeah,
this is the last night of the tour. It's our last show of the year of the record. So I don't know. Nothing could stop us. Not even whooping cough.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, you have been on the tour for so long. I was looking at your touring schedule on your website, and it's just like this immense scroll upwards and upwards and upwards. And you've pretty much been on the road for about almost a year and a half.
Yeah. It's been like we started with our, like Tegan and I and our guitar player / keyboard player Ted. We actually started in July of 2004. We started doing before the record came out. We wanted to go and do in stores in like all the indie record stores in the U.S. So we went out, the three of us, and we did like indie record stores and played to like underage kids, and just sort of doing promo for the album, and also just testing out like the material and stuff. And so it's been a long time, but it's only been in the last couple months that we've actually started to do the like, I'm tired, I'd like to go home now. But you know what? It's just been such a cool year, and like it's like I said earlier, like places like Australia, like now that we can come here and actually play to like a lot of people, and it makes sense, and there's there's like a welcoming kind of like feeling. You just don't want to stop. You kind of get excited to just keep out on the road and stuff. So
yeah, apart from the fact that it's your adrenaline that keeps you running, is it exciting as well to be able to have so many shows offered to you just continuously in different places of the world?
Well, you feel good, because you're like, okay, before you would have to like sort of battle to get shows. And you meet so many bands who are just like willing to take anything. They're like, I'll be the opening act, and I'll sell your merch. And you're just like, oh, remember the days, it wasn't that long ago that you were feeling that same sort of, intense need to get out on the road.
Even when we started when we actually were doing that independent record store tour in July, I remember having this meeting with our managers, and we were sitting in this crappy hotel room in Los Angeles, and we were brainstorming about how we could get on the road. Like, we didn't have any tours. We couldn't go out and do our own tours at that point because everything had been booked up, and we were kind of like, sort of behind the pitch. And so we were like, how do we get out on the road? And now it's like, I look back over the last 18 months, and it's like, it's so exciting. Yeah, like now I'm like, we need to have that meeting, but we need to be like, okay, when do we stop? But we are stopping. We are.
Yeah, you feel. I mean, you're really glad to be where you are. You have to stay focused and be excited to be where you are. And I think that specifically being able to tour in other countries like that isn't, that you didn't grow up in and you haven't been to that often, it's really exciting because there's the added bonus to the music, and that's getting to see all these different cities and cultures and go home and brag about it. And we definitely do a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't brag. Nobody knows what I do back home. I tell
Lies.
People it's the military.
Sarah tries to
say I can't talk about it.
Sarah moved out to Montreal and told me she was making friends and not telling people about me or what we do or any of that stuff.
What did you say?
I was just testing it. Exactly it. I can't talk about it. It's military related.
They probably thought you were some sort of alias.
Yeah, I hope so. God, that was what I was going for. Don't you think that's a good pickup line for someone?
You wear glasses. You could very much turn into some sort of Supergirl.
Yeah, I wear
Sarah's
costumes. Really into costumes.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I could just be anyone. No, I actually think that people think I'm lying, but they don't.
But you still don't tell them what you do.
Yeah, you still don't tell them.
You're listening to a podcast from FBI Radio in Sydney.
So So I guess what's your concept of home then? Because you're hardly at home, and I guess you don't really get to hang out and do supposed normal things. Is the road, is the stage...
Sure, you
what
know,
you feel most comfortable?
Totally, you know, you become like a little family on the road. Like, when we were growing up, we moved all the time, so I don't think that we necessarily attach to a home. It's more like the people you're with, and definitely the band, whether you like it or not, you become like a family. You have to talk about, you know, everything. You have to be around each other for everything, and hanging out with Sarah and I, you hear every single one of our thoughts. I mean, everything we have to say comes out. We have no sort of edit button, so I think we all became like a family, but, you know, I think that it's a lifestyle. So there's part of you that always wants to be at home, and there's part of you that always wants to be at work, because you love, you know, it's a choice. It's not something you fell into. It's really something we want to do. So there's moments where we feel like totally, I can sense in the guys right now, it's the last night, and there's been like a few comments on stage tonight, like, can't wait for this to be over, you know, like kind of like, not quite so aggressive.
They don't talk like that.
No, but like, you know, like some comments like, this is it, and like, you know, oh, we don't have to do this anymore, and I think we're all looking forward to like a little bit of a break. We started working on So Jealous.
Like, 2003.
Yeah, it's been a long, you know, some of those songs, yeah, like I Bet It Stung and You Wouldn't Like Me, we wrote in between records, so it's been a really long couple years, and it's just been amazing to see like the growth, and they're great songs to play every night because they're really different, and to have a fifth member on stage with us, like to have Ted there playing keyboard and guitar, it adds so much to the music, so that I don't feel like, you know, before Sarah and I used to go out acoustically because we couldn't afford a band, and I literally mid-show sometimes I would want to just bust my guitar apart and just go and stab her with the, you know, shards of the
Wow, that was a
casing.
long answer. I wonder if we could clock in and see how long Tegan took to
According
answer
to
that
somebody
question.
in Perth who did an interview with me, I talk 200. I talk 200 words a minute.
Is that really fast?
That's my stats.
I don't know. I was just gonna say that home for me is when I can walk from the bathroom to around the house naked. That's when I know I'm home, because I hate being I hate being on the road because everybody shares rooms.
Last night you said you were a never nude.
I am a never nude.
You should try that tonight at the Gaelic Club. From the stage to the toilets.
Buck naked. Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah, I dare you to do that, Alias.
Yeah.
Just get in character. Just put a wig on.
Put a cape on. No one will recognise you.
Yeah.
Well,
It's for my calendar that's coming out.